All right, our objective in this section is to find common and binomial factors of quadratic expressions, to factor special quadratic expressions also. All right, let's look at some new concepts, new words, new vocab. Factoring, rewriting an expression as a product of its factors. And then there's the FOIL method. All of you probably remember that from Algebra 1. It's a memory device for helping us write out the product of two binomials. The F stands for first, the product of the first terms. O stands for the outside terms. I, the product of the inside terms. And L, the product of the last terms. And this is when you express the problem in binomial form.
Okay, so I'm going to move into problem 1 then, and it says, what is the expression in factored form? So here we have a trinomial, 3 terms, and we're going to factor it. So I'm going to set up my 2 parentheses. I'm going to try to find 2 binomials that when multiplied together, we'll get back to that. Now, your first term will come from the 2 leading numbers in your parentheses, and that's what makes your x squared. So to get that, I would just take x times x. That one's nice and easy. When your coefficient is 1, you're always going to have just an x and x. Your last terms will multiply together and give you 6. Now we have to be kind of careful here because we have to look at factors of 6 that when added together will give me that 7 that I'm looking for. So that 7x is really your O plus your I when you're doing FOIL. Your outside and your inside together. So we have options for 6. We have 2 and 3, but 2 and 3 add to 5. That's not going to work. 6 times 1 are factors of 6, and those do add to 7. So we're going to put 6 and 1 there. And then what I always like to do right when I'm done is just kind of do a quick FOIL in my head and just make sure that when you multiply it back together, you're going to end up with x squared plus 7x plus 6, and it does work in this case.
Okay, our next concept is the greatest common factor, or the GCF of an expression. And that's a common factor of the terms in the expression. All right, so our problem that we want to factor is 4x squared minus 28x. And one of the first things I looked at is what number is the largest number that's used to find 4 and 28. 4 goes into 28 7 times. So if I take out a 4, and then also let's look at the x squared and the x. They would have in common at least one x. So my first factor is 4x. And then left over in the parentheses would be what would I multiply 4x by to get that 4x squared. So I'm missing another x, so I'm going to put an x in the parentheses first. And then I need to get to a negative 28x. I have 4x, so 4x times a negative 7 is going to get me a negative 28x. So I'm ending up with an answer that says 4x, and then in parentheses, meaning times x minus 7.
Good, and I always just do a quick distribution, don't you, in your head, to make sure that you match back
Yeah,
up.
it's kind of nice and easy to check these problems because you can just, like Ms. Schenzer said, do it in your head.
Okay, so now we have problem 3. Problem 3 is a little trickier here. We got what is the expression in factored form 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. Always check to see if you have a GCF first. Is there a factor that's in common with all 3 of your terms you can factor out first? That's not the case here, so we're not going to do that. So I'm going to set up and do guess and check again. I'm going to set it up so I have 2 binomials. Remember, F makes up 2x squared. O plus I will make up my middle term, 5x, and L makes up my last term. So I have to keep that in mind. So the first 2 terms multiplied together have to be 2x and x, because that'll give me 2x squared. That's my only option. Now I have to think of numbers that I can put in here, my last spot, that multiply to negative 12, but that when paired with the 2x and the x, when I do outside and inside, add to 5. You guys, it's just really a matter of just kind of guess and check and playing with your numbers.
And sometimes you get lucky and you get it the first time or the first couple times. And sometimes you have to go through all of the factor pairs before you actually find the correct factor that works for that middle term.
Yeah, and so, you know, we could let you sit here and play and kind of struggle a little bit, but I'm going to show you what the answer ends up being. Again, like we said, we could be plugging in -6 and 2, or -2 and 6, -3 and 4, 4 and -3, but you got to play around. It ends up where you're going to put a -3 here and a +4 here. And the reason why that -3 times -4 does multiply to -12, but notice outside is 8x. And inside these two terms is -3x. And remember, outside and inside have to add to that middle term 5x. And we did it. It matched, okay? So you will get frustrated. It's going to happen. Just be patient. Keep playing with your numbers, and you'll find the right combination.
Yeah, and the more you do, the more the combinations you visually can fix, or you can see what we're looking for in terms of that middle term.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to just run right into a perfect square trinomial, and I'm going to give you the definition of that. It's a trinomial that is a square of a binomial, and we'll show you what an example of that looks like. Okay, and I also included the example there. And here we have a trinomial, x squared plus 6x plus 9. And when I factor it, I'm going to find that my factors are x plus 3 times x plus 3. So you can write that as x plus 3, the quantity squared. And there's some special patterns we see with that, and Ms. Hadfield's going to walk us through that.
Okay, so in problem 4 there, what is...
Can you go through those two first?
Oh,
though?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so a squared plus 2ab plus b squared is going to equal the binomial a plus b squared, and that's what we call a perfect square. And then a squared minus 2ab plus b squared is going to have that same binomial a minus b squared. So when I have a subtraction sign, it's a minus b. When I have an addition sign, it's a plus b.
Good. So now you just have to recognize really when you have it, right?
And those are things that I guess you just learn from using numbers and factoring a lot.
Yeah, and you know, kind of adding to this, so we're having a little conversation here, but on problem 4, if you didn't notice that's a perfect square trinomial, it's completely fine to do guess and check. Set up your 2 parentheses. You're going to end up with the same answer when you're done anyway, right?
And sometimes then when you get that answer, you go, oh, duh, it was a perfect square.
Absolutely.
So in problem number 4, you've got x squared minus 12x plus 36. And notice that 36 is a perfect square, 6 times 6. So if I want, I can put my 2 parentheses, or I can automatically write x minus 6 and that quantity squared, because we're going to have 2 factors of x minus 6 times x minus 6. The negative 6 times the negative 6 gave me the positive 36, and negative 6x for an inside term and negative 6x for the outside term added together gave me that negative 12x.
Good. All right, now we're going to talk about the pattern difference of 2 squares, and literally it's just a squared minus b squared. And when you factor the difference of 2 squares, you're going to get a squared minus b squared equals a plus b and a minus b. And get that pattern down quick, because it's going to be one that you're going to see and you're going to want to have kind of committed to memory, right?
And a squared minus b squared is easy to distinguish between the other ones, because most of the other ones are trinomials, and this is a binomial.
Has just 2 terms. Good.
So that problem number 5, notice that 81's a perfect square, x squared's a perfect squared, and 100's a perfect squared. So we're simply going to have our 2 sets of parentheses. The first term is 9x, and then 9x on the other parentheses, and then minus 10 and plus 10,
All
or
right,
plus
and-
10 and minus 10, either way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So literally just take the square root of that, that goes here, take the square root of that, that goes there, and finish up the pattern and you're done.
And like we said, those should easily be ones that you can easily see.
Yeah, 2 terms only, absolutely. So the objective for lesson 4.4 was to find common and binomial factors of quadratic expressions and to factor special quadratic expressions.